This is the Intercontinental Broadcasting Corporation. Sa Bagong Pilipinas.
Good evening, this is 13 News.
We bring you the day's top stories
that shape the country and the world.
Let's get into the heads right now. Circulating reports claim Senator Bato de la Rosa has been arrested. No government agency has confirmed this yet.
The unstoppable Alex Ayala. After clinching her first WTA 500 title at the Mubadala DC Open, the Filipina tennis ace now gears up for the Canadian Open.
House lawmakers begin deliberations on the tax reform bill aimed at increasing the tax-exempt income threshold.
On the 12th day of the impeachment trial, prosecution turns spotlight on COA findings.
And in news abroad, the U.S. reinforces anew its naval blockade against Iran in the Strait of Hormuz.
All these and more here on 13 News.
We begin tonight's newscast with circulating reports that Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa has already been arrested. Tonight, the Department of Justice says it has yet to receive any official information regarding the alleged arrest.
De la Rosa slipped out of Senate protective custody during the May 14 shooting incident, leaving the building in the early hours of that morning.
The senator remains wanted on an arrest warrant from the International Criminal Court, tied to allegations over the previous administration's drug war campaign, where he served as chief of the Philippine National Police.
Po lang kasi na kumakalat na si Senator Bato de la Rosa na-arrest na po. Ano pong nakakinahin po sa DOJ?
We haven't confirmed that information. Di sabi, wala ko komentaran ka na nangyari yan. Hindi ko mansan ko yan.
After making history with her championship run at the Mubadala DC Open, Filipina tennis star Alex Ayala now sets her sights on an even bigger challenge as she begins her Canadian Open campaign tomorrow. Fresh off her career first WTA Tour title, Ayala has earned worldwide praise as she looks to carry her momentum into one of the tour's biggest tournaments. The full story from IBC News correspondent Ezra Abad.
Filipino tennis star Alex Ayala has finally captured her first ever WTA Tour title after a spectacular breakthrough at Mubadala DC Open. The 21-year-old became the first Filipino and the first Southeast Asian to win a WTA 500 singles title after rallying past world number 3 Jessica Pegula 4-6, 6-4, and 6-0. Ayala's road to the championship was filled with tough tests as she defeated Olympic gold medalist Zhang Qinwen, defending champion Leila Fernandez, second seed Elina Svitolina, former world number 1 Naomi Osaka, before capping her dream campaign with a victory over top seed Jessica Pegula. For winning the title, Ayala will take home $252,000 US, or more than 15 million pesos in prize money. She also climbed 8 spots to a career-high world number 20, becoming the highest-ranked Filipino tennis player in history. Ayala reflected on her historic achievement and thanked everyone who had been part of her journey.
Thank you to all my supporters, especially the Filipino community here in DC and back home and wherever you are in the world. I feel all the love. Maraming salamat mga kababayan. Maraming salamat.
Pegula was among the first to congratulate Ayala after the match, while DC Open chairman Mark Ine described the Filipinas' breakthrough title as a historic moment for the sport. The historic victory also drew praise from Philippine leaders. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. congratulated Ayala for continuing to redefine what is possible for Philippine tennis. The president said her latest achievement serves as an inspiration for young Filipinos to dream big and pursue excellence. The House of Representatives also adopted a resolution commending Ayala for becoming the first Filipino to win a WTA Tour-level singles title, describing her victory as a defining milestone in Philippine sports. Meanwhile, the 12th day of the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte opened on a lighter note as members of the Senate Impeachment Court unanimously congratulated the Filipino tennis star.
Nais po naming ipabatid ang aming nagkakaisang pagbati kay Binibining Alex Ayala sa kanyang panalo at kampyonato sa DC Open. Tunay na ikinararangal at ipinagbubunyikan naming lahat. Congratulations sa iyo, Alex.
The private sector also joined the celebration, with SM Mall of Asia lighting up its iconic globe as a giant tennis ball in tribute to Ayala's historic triumph. Ayala's celebration will be short-lived as she now turns her focus to the Canadian Open, where she has earned a first-round bye and is set to open her campaign against American Alicia Parks. Ezra Abad, IBC News.
Day 12 of Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment trial. The defense wraps up its cross-examination while the prosecution turned the spotlight back on former Commission on Audit State Auditor Roderick Wamil. Prosecutors stressed that even confidential funds remain public money, requiring proper liquidation, documentation, and accountability. Presiding officer Senator Francis Cheese Escudero has ordered a subpoena for another COA witness to appear before the court. IBC correspondent Patrick Gupo has the details on the Senate Impeachment Court.
Before the impeachment court proceeded with the 12th day of the trial of Vice President Sara Duterte, Senator Judge Robin Padilla led the opening prayer asking for wisdom.
Panginoon namin, hinihingi po namin ang inyong talino sa oras na ito. Sa oras na ito na ibinigay po sa amin ang pinakamabigat na obligasyon upang makapagbigay ng hustisya.
After the opening formalities, the court resumed the presentation of evidence on the alleged misuse of the confidential funds of the Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education. Former Commission on Audit Intelligence and Confidential Funds Audit Office State Auditor Roderick Wamil returned to the witness stand. The prosecution presented disbursement vouchers covering the first 3 quarters of 2023, which Wamil confirmed the signature of Vice President Sara Duterte. He explained that while the disbursement vouchers were compliant, he found items in the OVP's accomplishment reports that were not allowable under the 2015 Joint Circular on Confidential Funds.
Meron pong 2 items dito na hindi kasama dun sa allowable confidential expenses under item 4.8 of the Joint Circular 2015-01.
Anong ibig sabihin ng hindi allowable? Bawal? Bawal ba?
Opo, kasi yung listahan po ng allowable confidential expenses under 4.8 ng Joint Circular ay exclusive. So kapag hindi po kasama doon, hindi po pwedeng paggapitan ng kanilang confidential fund.
Wamil also testified that the OVP failed to submit documents showing the success of its information gathering or surveillance activities related to millions of pesos released as reward payments. The hearing also touched on the Department of Education's confidential funds when Duterte was Education Secretary. According to Wamil, DepEd received 37.5 million pesos in confidential funds every quarter, including funding for counterinsurgency programs aimed at preventing alleged NPA recruitment among teachers and students. However, he said DepEd did not submit documents identifying the targets or results of those activities. During the defense's cross-examination, Wamil said COA auditors do not personally observe confidential operations but base their audit on documents submitted by the agency. On redirect examination, the prosecution stressed that confidential funds remain public funds and must still be properly accounted for.
Pag confidential funds ba, lahat ng information na hinihingi sa inyo, kagaya ng sang ginastos, yung milyon-milyon na yan sa medicine, oy, bawal yan, confidential yan. Pwede ba yan, Mr. Witness?
Hindi po. Since ang confidential fund po ay public fund, so dapat po ay properly accounted po ito. And since ang involved po ay confidential fund, so it must follow the strict accounting and auditing guidelines po to prevent misuse.
Wamil further testified that failure to liquidate confidential funds upon demand may constitute prima facie evidence of misuse under the Joint Circular. Meanwhile, Presiding Officer Francis Chis Escudero ordered the issuance of a subpoena to Sailin May del Ocampo of the COA ICFAO to appear before the impeachment court from August 5 to 11. The interpellation of former COA State Auditor Roderick Wamil by the senator judges is set to continue in the next hearing. Patrick Gupo, IBC News.
After today's impeachment trial, senators held a plenary session where two landmark bills that seek to protect vulnerable families and strengthen the Philippine Coast Guard were passed. Senator Chis Escudero pushed through amendments to the Urban Development and Housing Act Senate Bill number 70, shielding underprivileged households from abrupt evictions by removing financial barriers where they challenge court ejection orders. Senator Raffy Tulfo, meanwhile, championed the revised PCG bill or Senate Bill 2116 to bolster maritime security and give better support to Coast Guard workers. Lawmakers also tackled reforms to the party list system and socialized housing.
The Bureau of Internal Revenue, or BIR, marks 122 years of service with a record-breaking milestone. The Department of Finance lauds the Bureau for hitting a record high of 3 trillion pesos tax collections. The agency said this was driven by rising voluntary tax compliance and easier online tax filing. The main sources of the BIR's collections are from income taxes, VAT, percentage tax, and excise taxes. Finance Secretary Frederick Go congratulated the Bureau and thanked Commissioner Charlito Martin Mendoza for championing taxpayer-centric reforms. The celebration also honored this year's BIR's top taxpayers, Alden Richards and Barbie Forteza. They were hailed as role models, inspiring more Filipinos to pay their taxes right.
The House of Representatives begins its deliberations on the country's first income tax reform bill aimed at raising the tax exemption threshold to 350,000 pesos a year. The move aims to boost workers' take-home pay. To offset lost revenues, the Department of Finance is pushing higher sin taxes on plastics, alcohol, cigarettes, vapes, and sugary drinks, a plan now under scrutiny in Congress. IBC correspondent Earl Tobias has the full report.
The House of Representatives has started deliberations on the first income tax reform bill. The proposal is to raise the tax-exempt income threshold from 250,000 to 350,000 pesos a year, effectively increasing workers' take-home pay. For example, a call center agent earning 312,000 pesos a year would no longer pay the current 5,970 peso income tax. A teacher one earning 380,000 pesos annually would see their tax bill drop from about 15,000 pesos to just 407 pesos.
Hindi ka na kami matatagsan, so mas madami kami mga bibring home sa family namin. Makakatulong yun sa amin sa mga pang-araw-araw na pangangailangan po namin.
House Ways and Means Committee Chairperson Miro Kimbo said the current tax brackets anchored from train law are already outdated, as many low and middle income workers now pay taxes even though their salary increases have only kept up with the inflation for the past years.
Marami sa ating mga low income at middle class workers ang napasok sa mas mataas sa tax bracket kahit na ang dagdag sahod nila ay panghabol lamang sa tumataas na presyo ng mga bilihin, pero hindi naman talaga sila yumayaman.
Exactly the reason why President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. wants such tax reform measure to be passed by Congress. The department is studying the proposed progress bill.
Kasalukuyang itong binubusisi ng DOF kasi nais po ng Pangulo na ito ay maipasa sa pinakamabilis na panahon.
Meanwhile, the Bureau of Internal Revenue is also proposing an income tax exemption for small businesses.
The proposed minimum corporate income tax exemption for micro and small enterprises is expected to provide relief and benefit to more than 78,000 tax-paying MSEs.
To offset billions of pesos in lost government revenue, the Department of Finance is proposing higher sin taxes on single-use plastics, alcohol, cigarettes, vapes, and sweetened beverages. Some lawmakers oppose this, but the Finance Department said its proposal is based on studies and public consultations. Earl Tobias, IBC News.
The low-pressure area, formerly Tropical Depression Luis, has dissipated. But as of 8 o'clock p.m. today, the low-pressure area located west of Bacnotan, La Union, developed into a Tropical Depression May. It may move toward the Ilocos region before weakening. Meanwhile, Typhoon Dolphin remains outside the Philippine area of responsibility, may enhance the southwest monsoon starting Thursday, bringing widespread rains over the parts of southern Luzon and the western Visayas. Pag-asa forecasts heavy rains over western Luzon in the next 24 hours. Up to 200 millimeters of rain are expected over La Union, Benguet, Pangasinan, and Zambales, increasing the risk of flooding and landslides. Moderate to heavy rains are also expected in parts of the Ilocos region, Central Luzon, Metro Manila, and Occidental Mindoro due to the enhanced southwest monsoon. Coming up next, wildfires continue to ravage Washington, D.C. as a man faces arson charges in Connecticut and in connection with one of the fires. Stay tuned. This is 13 News.
Bagong Pilipinas. Mahalaga ang kapakanan ng bawat isa. Lahat ng aspeto ng lipunan pinagtutuunan ng pansin ng pamahalaan at ni Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Bagong Pilipinas, PBBM, Lingkod ng Bayan. Tuwing Linggo, alas 8:30 ng umaga.
Kayo ba ay may mga isyong may kinalaman sa karapatang pantao o pangkalusugan?
Isyung legal at pangangailangang medikal, ito ang programang magbibigay payo, tulong para sa mga mamamayang nangangailangan. Kasama sina Congressman Zia Alonto Adyong at Attorney Mix Nograles.
Makakasama niyo kami sa paghahatid ng kwento at tulong, pag-asa at pagbibigay ng mabilis at di kalidad na serbisyo.
Tutukan ang lahat ng ito sa House at Your Service tuwing Sabado, 1:00 ng hapon dito sa IBC 13 at Congress TV.
Yung tinago po nila sa akin, yung bata.
Hindi ko po iuurong yung kaso. Sinabi ko na mamubulok sa kulungan.
Unang-una po, hindi po normal para sa amin yung ganitong buhay.
Sa tuwing may inaapi, kami ang kakampi ng katotohanan at katarungan.
Ito ang programa kung saan laging patas ang batas.
Legally Speaking, tuwing Linggo, alas 3 ng hapon.
The government is now carefully reviewing new fare hike petitions, making sure commuters won't carry too heavy a load, just as President Ferdinand R. Marcos directed. At the same time, the administration is eyeing a proposed 20 peso fuel subsidy for PUV drivers and operators, a move meant to keep rides affordable and ease worries on the road. IBC News correspondent Harley Valbuena has more.
Amid fresh fare hike petitions ranging from 2 pesos to 10 pesos due to rising oil prices, college student Lawrence is worried commuting daily to and from school.
Mahirap na tumataas yung pamasahe namin kasi minsan kulang na rin sa baon kasi di naman ganun kalaki yung baon namin.
The government is now carefully studying petitions to ensure any increase will not heavily burden commuters, in line with the directive of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Also under discussion is a proposed 20 peso fuel subsidy per liter for PUVs to run for 1 month encouraging drivers and operators not to raise fares. This recommendation has already been submitted by the LTFRB to Malacanang.
Pag-uusapan po ng Office of the Executive Secretary, DOTR, and Economic Team para po mas magkaroon ng konkreto at detaling resolusyon patungkol po dyan.
The 10 peso per liter fuel subsidy for PUVs is extended until the end of the August. Next week, transport groups such as Manibela plan a 3-day transport strike to protest soaring oil prices. Meanwhile, this is the call of the palace.
Hindi ito ang sagot sa mga ganitong klaseng issue dahil mas mahihirapan lang din po ang ating mga commuters sa gagawin ganitong klaseng aksyon. Ang nais ng pamahalaan ay pag-uusap, negosasyon.
Malacanang assured that all sentiments of transport groups will be heard while also affirming their right to hold strikes. Harley Valbuena, IBC News.
The Philippines and Japan continue to strengthen their long-standing partnership in trade, security, and economic development. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. met with Japanese lawmaker Fujita Fumitake at Malacanang to reaffirm bilateral cooperation. IBC News correspondent Jinky Baticados has more.
The Philippines and Japan continue to deepen their partnership, from economics and trade to defense and security. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. welcomed Fujita Fumitake, a member of Japan's House of Representatives and co-representative of the Japan Innovation Party, or JIP, at Malacanang. During the courtesy call, President Marcos thanked Fujita for his visit and highlighted the continued expansion of cooperation between the two countries. Fujita is in Manila from August 2 to 4. The Japan Innovation Party is a junior coalition partner of the ruling Liberal Democratic Party and also advocates stronger maritime and defense cooperation, supply chain resilience, and a rules-based Indo-Pacific. The visit comes as the Philippines and Japan mark 70 years since the normalization of diplomatic relations and 15 years of their strengthened strategic partnership. Japan remains one of the Philippines' most important economic partners. In 2025, Japan was the country's second largest trading partner, with bilateral trade reaching $22.2 billion. Jinky Baticados, IBC News.
Meanwhile, 20 more individuals involved in anomalous flood control projects in Cebu are facing criminal complaints. The National Prosecution Service confirmed this to IBC 13. Filed by the NBI Cebu District Office, the cases target officials of the DPWH Cebu 3rd District Engineering Office, along with private respondents. Charges include illegal use of public funds, malversation, perjury, among others. The DOJ clarified the complaints remain under preliminary investigation, giving respondents a chance to submit counter affidavits.
So we'd like to remind the public that the complaints form part of the broader inquiry of the flood control-related anomalies in the country. Should further complaints be filed, whether by the NBI or any law enforcement agency, this office will evaluate them under applicable rules and procedure.
Good news for Apple users. Apple Pay is now available in the Philippines. Apple announced its official launch earlier today, aimed at making transactions faster, easier, and more convenient. To utilize this feature, open the Wallet app on your Apple device, tap the Add button at the upper right corner, select the type of card you want to add or scan your physical card, complete the required verification, and you're ready to go. To pay in stores, double-click the power button, scan your Face ID, then simply hold the top of your iPhone or the face of your Apple Watch near a POS terminal until the payment is completed. As of now, supported banks include Union Bank, Metro Bank, China Bank, and GoTime Bank, with more local banks and card types expected to be added soon.
Several Filipino athletes once again showcased Pinoy pride after delivering back-to-back triumphs in various international sports tournaments. Starting off with Sagay City Negros Occidental, the 12-under girls team captured another world title at the 2026 Pony International Softball World Series in Hemet, California, USA. This marks Sagay City's second Pony World Series title this year, following its girls' 14-and-under championship victory last month. Also in the United States, Filipina pool star Cheska Centeno ruled the 2026 FIDA WPA Women's World 8-Ball Championship, becoming a 3-time world champion. She has now shifted her focus to the World 10-Ball Championship and the mixed doubles event in Rome, where she will team up with fellow Filipina pool champion Rubilen Bingkay Amit. Meanwhile, the Philippine women's national lacrosse team secured its historic first win at the 2026 World Lacrosse Women's Championship in Tokyo, Japan. The team dominated the Czech Republic 11-5 to finish 10th overall in the tournament. Lastly, the Philippine trail running team emerged as overall champion of the 2026 Southeast Asia Trail Running Cup in Indonesia. The national squad finished with a total of 24 medals, with 11 gold, silver, and 7 bronze.
Wildfires have ignited across Spokane, Washington, in America over the weekend. The fires have spread across more than 8,000 acres, prompting mandatory Level 3 leave now evacuation orders that forced thousands of residents to flee their homes. At least 700 structures have been destroyed by the fires. NASA astronaut Jessica Meir also captured images from the wildfires from the International Space Station. Meanwhile, authorities have arrested a convicted felon in connection with the wildfires. 37-year-old Aaron Farinacci is facing a charge of first-degree arson and is being held on a $1 million bond. Investigators said a witness saw Farinacci acting suspiciously shortly before smoke was seen rising from the area where one of the fires is believed to have started. As the conflict in the Middle East continues, the U.S. is further reinforcing its naval blockade against Iran in the Strait of Hormuz.
Captain, you are requested to alter course to 190. If you do not comply, we will compel compliance with force.
The blockade has redirected 44 commercial vessels, disabled 2, and boarded 2 others. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump warned that new talks with Iran would be its last chance to make a deal before decapitation. Trump reiterated that the U.S. position remains unchanged, saying Iran must never be allowed to possess a nuclear weapon.
Think you've seen everything China has to offer? Beyond the popular destinations like Beijing, Shanghai, and Harbin, there is another hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Miss Cathy Villar takes us to this must-try destination.
China, a major global bucket list for today's travelers, boasts of a dramatic blend of historic and modern wonders. If you are looking to explore destinations other than the usual Beijing, Shanghai, Xi'an, and Harbin, have you thought about doing a China walk to discover Shandong? Just among the many Shandong attractions, there is one that stands out. In one of Shandong's cities is the birthplace of famous ancient thinker Confucius. A Confucian site is located in the charming city of Chufu, a greenery of colorful landscape. A UNESCO site, the historic attraction houses the Temple of Confucius, built in 478 BC, and has undergone hundreds of expansions and renovations over a period of 2,000 years. Today, it is a treasure house for researchers and scholars to study politics, history, culture, and arts. Back then, the historic complex was also home to Confucius' direct descendants. In the site, you will also find the Cemetery of Confucius, containing the tomb of the great teacher and thinker himself, along with over 100,000 of his descendants. Sure to catch your breath is the nearby Nishan Sacred Land, located up above the mountain where Confucius was born. Erected there is a 72-meter tall brass statue of Confucius. Here, a daily signature ceremony is held, showcasing Confucian rituals, music, dance, and technical theater. Truly a sight to behold. Today, locals and tourists flock to Chufu, marveling at the site to remember, pray, and honor the famous ancient thinker that is Confucius. From Chufu, Shandong, I'm Kathy Villar reporting for IBC News.
And before we wrap up tonight's newscast, we bring you the results of the PCSO's 9 p.m. lottery draws. For the Lotto 642, the winning numbers are 1, 26, 42, 15, 34, and 19 with a jackpot price of 19,249,103 pesos and 8 centavos. For the Super Lotto 649, the winning combination is 11, 20, 12, 36, 44, and 26 with a jackpot prize of 25,187,181 pesos and 56 centavos. For the Ultra Lotto 658, the winning combination is 35, 14, 7, 13, 46, and 55 with a jackpot prize of 182,425,805 pesos and 15 centavos. For the 60 Lotto, the winning combination in exact order is 0, 5, 0, 4, 9, and 7. For the 3D Lotto, the winning numbers are 3, 8, and 2. And finally, for the 2D Lotto draw, the winning numbers are 19 and 17. There is one winner for the Super Lotto 649 and no winner for the Lotto 642 and Ultra Lotto 658. And do you have plans for tomorrow, both of you?
Not yet.
I mean, we have to go back to work, right?
Yes, okay.
What is this?
Well, you may want to check out the latest in consumer technology as the World of Consumer Electronics Expo opens. The 4-day event will feature emerging technologies and innovations designed to shape everyday life.
Oh yeah, I heard that the expo will run from August 5 to 8 at the SMX Convention Center in Manila. Industry leaders, exhibitors, and technology enthusiasts are expected to gather to explore new products and emerging trends. The event will be open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Also tomorrow, Filipina tennis star Alex Ayala begins her main draw campaign at the Canadian Open as she continues her impressive run this season. Ayala's first round opponent has yet to be determined as the qualifying matches continue.
Yes, Alex Ayala is incredible. Congratulations to her. She's wonderful.
Yes.
The way she answers, and you can really see she went through the motion.
And she brings so much honor to her country.
Yes.
Mabuhay po kayo.
Nobody can just win a WTA 500 and open like that.
Okay, from all of us here at IBC 13, congratulations to our tennis star, Alex Ayala. And those were the latest from the IBC Newsroom this evening. I am William Thio.
We'll continue to monitor the stories that matter and bring you updates as they develop. I'm Angela C.
And I'm Gabrielle Lopez. This is 13 News, keeping you informed, and thank you for watching, and good night.